Got another project here to improve the 8540 here. Well, not improve it. It's an existing part for it. Um, it's the support bracket for the outboard arbor, and just to tie the knee and the support rods together. And this is the one that came with the machine. And you can see somebody blew the ends off of that. That's where it bolts to the knee. And there's been a braze job, and well, it just doesn't look all that great. I'm sure it is functional. I have not used it yet, but I have picked up one of these castings here, and this is a replica casting of the support, and they're available on eBay. And I am going to machine this using the 8540 to machine parts to replace itself, just kind of like self-generation. And anyways, it was just an interesting challenge to figure out how to machine it on the machine itself, because it's obviously too big to be machined in one pass. So I'm just using the slot here, and I'm going to try and machine some spots, move the clamping system, try and get it qualified on one side, flip it over, do the other side, and then maybe come back to this original side and just dust it up, make sure everything's good and parallel that way. And then really, outside of that, cleaning the two surfaces, there's the mounting holes, which should be no problem at all. And yeah, so I'm hoping this turns out well. So at this point, all I've done, there is a parting line inside of this slot, which is a cast feature, so you don't have to mill that out. And I've just done a little bit of hand filing just to get rid of a little bit of parting in there. And then there's a couple of tabs here, look like from gating. So once I get everything machined, then we'll just do maybe a little bit of grinding and then some hand filing. So with that other end finished now, I've just slid the whole casting down. I got the this end here tied down because I want to come straight through on this face here, and I just got a bolt in the slot at the far end there, and I'm just rough qualifying this surface here, and then when we flip it, we'll have a flatter surface to do the other side and get it parallel. So as you probably saw in that last little clip there, I wasn't taking much off, and when I had flipped it over, I think I dialed in 15 thou, or dialed up 15 thou, and this corner here is not quite cleaning up. Starting to pick up some metal here. I'm going to run it through at this height and just kind of see what I end up with. I don't want to take too much metal off of the casting, just enough to get this here cleaned up. Down here we're going to have just 2 bolt holes just to bolt it to the knee, so it'll be fine with the cast surface there. But I just want to understand at this height here, with this much material coming off, what I end up with, what it looks like. I might have to take another 5 thou skim off of everything. just short of enough room to get the whole width, which is just slightly bigger than the table. And I got this little bit of non-clean up here, but I am not going to go back and take more off of this. I want it as thick as I can possibly get it. All that's going here is a bolt hole, so there'll be a washer there. That doesn't matter anything. And so now we're just going to do probably 3 passes here just to get that last little bit. So I've got that all set now. Like I said, this is just a touch of non-cleanup, but I am not going to go back and take care of that. There's a bolt going through there, a bolt hole going in, so that'll be good. So now we're going to pull it off of here and figure out the spacing on these 2 holes. So this is the original, and I thought about just using a transfer punch there, but I think I'm going to do something slightly different. These are the mounting holes, 3/8/16, and they're through holes through the knee. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up at least center to center distance here, which we'll just measure across here and subtract the diameter of one of these bolts. That'll be close enough. I mean, it's just a bolt, just got to clamp it on there. But there is a left and a right here. These 2 bolts are not centered. Now the slot is, but this here feature is not symmetrical around the center. So I got to make sure which way these mount. So the next thing is to punch the 2 clearance holes through the bottom here. And what I've got the slot set up parallel on a couple of blocks here. I've got the whole part clamped to an angle plate, and I know my center distance is 4.5 inches between the holes, so I'm going to punch the bottom one, and then we'll just drop the table down 4.5 inches and get the top one. And I'm going to go 3/8 loose fit clearance, which is an X. So I was a little concerned. I was watching this zero mark here for the saddle in and out, and I was expecting stuff that would be on center, not measuring it, not knowing, just anticipating that. And I had this flipped around the other way, and I wasn't lined up with the I guess you got to be able to see that. So I wasn't lined up with the arbor support, and then I spun it 180 degrees around, and it is actually lined up. The thing is it's not in line on the center line of the screw for the saddle, so it just looks a little strange when you're looking down here. But this is the key point here, making sure that's lined up. So at this point, everything's looking good, and I'm going to do a little bit more cosmetic stuff on it and get it primed up, and then we'll mount it. So all in all, um, I'm very happy with the results here. Everything lines up, everything fits, and I just got a coat of primer on there right now. Not sure what I'm going to do for paint at this point. Um, it was just to get something functional, make sure these holes were in good shape and everything's ready to go. Haven't even actually used it yet, but or haven't used the original yet, but I think what I might do, one thing here, is create a really thick washer here. That's a 1/2 inch slot in there, and it's a 3/8 fastener. So I may create a little bit thicker washer for that. But other than that, I think it's ready to go, and look for an opportunity to use it.